Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We have a week of workouts video today, which I always love doing because I feel like it just gives you a really good overview of my workouts rather than just like snippets of ones here and there, and it's like this is what I do, but then the rest of the week also affects that it's one that I do. So I like showing you the whole thing rather than just one workout. So we have a full week of workouts. I'm filming this a little higgledy-piggledy, I'm not gonna lie, because last Monday when I started this video I wasn't feeling filming an intro. I was tired. I didn't feel like I could give my all when filming the intro, so I'm filming the intro now. I also need to film little clips to go after the workouts because some days I just forgot. Bad YouTuber. I wanted to just give a few caveats before we start. I'm going to do it as quick as I can. Please listen to them before you watch the workouts. But I feel like you need to have these caveats to make sense of the entire workout, okay? So, really quickly, number one, I don't include my reps. That is because if you are wanting to put on muscle, and everything else as well, to be honest, doesn't really matter how many reps you're doing. Do whatever works for you. It all depends on the weight that you are using. You want, if you're trying to put on muscle, you want to do the amount of reps where you have 1 to 5 reps left in the tank, okay? That's on whatever you're using. If you're using 3 kilos and then you stop when you've got 2 reps left in the tank, like actually left in the tank as well, I'm not talking like 2 reps and then I think I'm kind of done. 2 reps and then you cannot lift that weight anymore. That's what you should be doing. If you're lifting 50 kilos and you're doing that, that's what you should be doing. It doesn't matter about the reps, it's just about the sets. And with the sets, this is calculated over the week, so you want to go between 10 and 20 sets per muscle group to put on muscle. So all of these, I haven't looked at my plan in a while, I think normally triceps is below because I'm not that bothered. So the majority of muscle groups, this has 10 to 20 sets throughout the week. So I do lower, upper, lower, upper. So within those 2 lowers, there is 10 to 20 sets, not in one. In both of them combined, there is 10 to 20 sets for quads, hamstrings and glutes, not calves. But you get the gist. That's it overall. The next point is RPE, so make sure you're 1 to 5 reps away from failure, like proper failure. Like I can't lift this weight any further up, failure, not can't be arsed anymore. I get it, it's easy to do, I'm guilty for it, but you want to try and get it to there. Next thing is, the way I do my workouts is I do 2 hard sets. So you don't want to do all of your workouts focusing on form because you're not going to be able to get heavier that way. You also don't want to do all of your workouts going super heavy because you're going to hurt yourself that way. So you want to go somewhere in the middle, and the way that I do it is I do 2 hard sets of each exercise. That is what is recommended by Brett Contreras, who is the glute guy. If you haven't heard of him, I'll leave him below. He is a researcher, he knows what he's talking about, and he says do 2 hard sets. So in these workouts you will see I will have put if it's a hard set or a form set. That is just because on my hard sets my form goes out the window. I don't want you thinking that that is exactly the form that I want you to do. It's just my hard sets. I don't do form. You still want to be safe, so don't be doing stuff with a bent back, don't be like completely chucking the weight around. You want some kind of form, but just, it doesn't have to be perfect or spot on. You're probably not going to be able to progress if you're focusing on form all the time. I did it for years, messed up with it. You need to be going heavier. You want progressive overload, which comes on to my next point. To put on muscle, you need to be doing progressive overload. All that means is every week you want to be beating yourself last week. Doesn't matter by what. You just want to be getting it up. I use the app called Strong, and that has a little volume indicator that you can put on to your sets. And all you want to do is up that percentage a little bit. You can do that by adding reps, adding sets, and adding weight. I tend to go between reps and weight, and you just want the percentage to go up a little bit. That's it, on every exercise. You want to try that. It's not going to happen some weeks, that's completely okay. Some weeks it's probably going to go down if you've gone up a weight, that's fine. But overall, we want to go for progressive overload. If you don't want to use Strong, you can figure it out yourself, but it can be difficult when it comes to like times and all the weights and the reps and stuff together, so I just use Strong. Anyway, I think that's all the caveats that I have. If not, I'll be popping them in on the screen. But let's get on to the first workout. The first workout is the one that I uploaded last week, which is a lower body workout. So if you want a more in-depth talk through of this workout, head over to that video because I've done it. I literally did a video completely talking about this workout, but I'm going to try and go through them quickly in this, so it's going to be just clips of the workout, and then I'm going to do a little chat afterwards. That's it, like I'm going to do for this, and we're going to try and get through it as quick as possible. If you prefer a voiceover, because I've been watching a few people's week of workouts, if you prefer a voiceover, please comment and let me know, and I will do a voiceover on the next one. Just give me some feedback on how you want these done. But anyway, I will show you this workout, and you'll see me in a second.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Okay, so like I said, if you want a nice in-depth chat about that workout, go see last week's video. But anyway, we're going to go quickly through it now. So first up, squats. I am doing high bar back squats. Multiple ways to do it. Do however you feel comfortable with. I will say front squats are going to be more quad dominant, whereas back squats include your glutes a lot as well. On those heavy sets, I'm just trying to feel more comfortable with heavier weight, so my depth isn't there. Ideally, you want your hips lower than your knees, if that makes sense. So when you are going down into the squat, let me show you, you want your, like, there. Do you see what I mean? Like, you want this hip crease lower than your knees. Just is fine. That's all good. You just want it a little bit lower. But it's not the be all and end all, but just if you want to do a good depth squat, that is what you're aiming for. Remember, push your knees out. You want a nice straight line from your head, upper back and booty. You don't want a massive curvature in between your upper back and booty. You want a nice straight line. Make sure your heels stay on the floor. Do not let your heels come out. Ground those heels and push through them as much as you can. And remember to do some nice deep breaths through your tummy. Next up, pause rep hip thrust. So it's not just hip thrust, we're doing a 3-second pause at the top. I am trying to do scoop method here. So I do the scoop method. Also, if the fireplace turns off and on again, I've been trying to turn it off through the home app and it's being laggy, so if it goes off, it was meant to. Anyway, I have been trying to do the scoop method because it is such a lightweight that I want to be able to get that type of form, because Brett Contreras, again, the glute guy, he was saying that he thinks that the scoop method's a little bit better for being able to develop the glutes, and I just want to be able to try and perfect that form. I cannot do it on heavy weight, so I thought, why not on the lightweight, try and get the scoop method better. Top tips for this one is make sure you are on something that is going to be able to get you to get full lockout. So you want your hips to be in line with your sternum at the top of the movement. If they aren't able to get all the way to the top of the movement, your bench is too high. The majority of the benches in commercial gyms are too high for hip thrusts. I use the steps like you've seen, but just be careful. Try and find something else if your benches are too high, because if you're not getting full lockout, you're not going to be able to squeeze all your glutes and it's just going to be pointless. So try and find something that's a good height. Next is the only superset that is in this workout, and it is leg extension straight into banded diagonal kickbacks. So leg extension, we're hitting the quads. Try and get your feet in line with your knees. I like to imagine pushing up on the outside of my quads, and that helps me feel it in my quads better. So just when straightening your leg, think about squeezing the outside of your legs. I found not going all the way to lockout makes it feel better for me. Make sure your lower back is touching the back of the pad, and make sure you're holding on tight to the handles. Then straight into banded diagonal kickbacks. Find something to hold on to. You're not going to be able to do this without holding on to something. I was using the back of the shoulder press, so anything like that's just a bar, essentially. But just try and find something that's a good height, because if it's too high, it's going to be too hard to hold onto, and if it's too low, you're going to be in a completely wrong angle. Bend over slightly, try and keep your back nice and straight, and you're going out on a diagonal, so not straight out to the left. Make sure you're going back as well as out. Last exercise, single leg seated curl. It's a mouthful. Make sure when you are doing your leg that's like in the machine not to go quickly back. Figure out where your leg is. It can be very easy to whack your leg with the metal parts of the machine, so just make sure you can see what you're doing. Do a slow rep first just to make sure your leg's in the right place. And that is that workout. So let us move on and go on to upper body 1. Hello everyone, it is now not the next day, the day after. Didn't train yesterday because lovely Jackie had the car, so I had to stay at home with Oakley. So yeah, we are training upper today, upper 1. I will not talk too much through it now. Feeling more awake than I was on Monday. Hopeful that the workout feels good. Got some PBs again. And yeah, we'll get on with the workout. Okay, the hair is up in a bun because I'm going to do some cardio. I'm only doing cardio once a week, and I've only introduced it last week because I feel like my fitness is like going downhill, and I'd very much like to keep my fitness. I'm not bothered about weight loss, I'm not bothered about calories, anything like that. It's just I'd like to be fit and not get out of breath from certain stuff. So I'm going to go do 10 minutes on the Stairmaster and then I'm done. It is now a little bit later. I still have my hair in a bun because I need to shower. So it's just staying there until I do because I'm minging from that workout. So I thought we'd chat through it a little bit. So the overhead press, pretty self-explanatory. You're pushing the bar above your head. Top tips for this one would be to poke your head out at the top. So when you're pushing up, make sure to poke your head through at the top. Make sure you are keeping your back straight. I didn't do very well in this on the heavy sets. My back was curved. I need to work on it. It wasn't great. And try and make sure you are using your core, so breathing through your tummy rather than your chest, breathing into that stomach and using your core to stop you from bending your back, like what I did. Incline chest press, bench, dumbbell press, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure that you're using your chest because it's very easy to just use your shoulders on it. Try and get an angle that works for you. The higher up you are, like the more of an incline you are, the more it's going to be your shoulders. So if you want more of your chest, you can go from anywhere to flat. Obviously it's a different exercise, but I tend to just have it in the middle. Make sure you're squeezing your chest and using the chest muscles rather than your shoulders. The bicep curls on the cables with the handles, I prefer that because it allows you to have your hands wherever you want them, whereas on a bar, like on the straight bar or using the ropes, you're a little bit more restricted, whereas the handles you can do whatever you want. Try and make sure your shoulders are pinned back and you're not completely hunched forward. They are going to come forward a little bit if you're using a heavy weight, but just try and make sure that they're not like hunched forward. You want to pin them back as much as you can and try and keep your head nice and neutral. Don't be looking down, which is what I tend to do. Try and keep looking neutral, or start in an up position and then you'll probably end up looking a little bit down and ending up straight anyway. Lat pull down, make sure you're engaging your lats. So you'd be able to see it on my clips where I kind of like pull and then start pulling. That's me kind of engaging my lats, making sure my back's doing the work and I'm not just kind of like going through the motions. Really pull your back like under here, back, and pull down from there. I've been using these as like a really heavy set because I'm using these as an underhand grip to try and help me get my first chin up, which is something that I'm trying to do at the minute. So if I am in that position anyway, which is the same as chin up, I'm just chucking up the weight and trying to lift as heavy as I can so I can eventually try and lift my body weight. Incline dumbbell curls. So again, you choose your incline. You don't want to be straight up because that's a different exercise. I like to have it on an incline. It makes it harder. The more straight that you are on the bench, easier it's going to be. If you're going backwards, you're working against gravity more. Try and keep your elbows still. You don't want to be like shoving them up whilst you're doing the bicep curl. We're not doing an uppercut, we're doing a bicep curl. You want this to work and this to work only. Having that incline as well is going to make your shoulders go back. Try and keep them back and keep them there so it's literally only in the bicep. That's why I can only do 7 kilos on these for 12. On that cable curl, I was doing 20 kilos. On this, I can do 7 because I'm working against gravity. My shoulders are completely pinned back. It just freaking wrecks. So don't go too heavy if you're going to try these. And last one, lateral raises. I have been trying to get lateral raises down for years. They're very difficult. Top tips I've came up with are: think about literally squeezing here, not up here, which is what I tend to do. My traps tend to pop out when they want to. You're squeezing from there. Try and imagine your little fingers going up. Your little fingers going up is going to bring your delt into it more, which is where we are working for the lateral raises. So up, not just like up to the sides. You're kind of like doing that rather than that. Little finger should be higher than the rest of it. Don't go too high because that's when your delt's just going to be like, I've done what I can do, and the trap's going to be like, I'm taking over from now on. So I literally go to about there, probably not even that high. If you imagine here squeezing it, you should be able to figure out how high you're going to go. I prefer just what I've found when I've been experimenting. I don't like going out to the side, like completely out to the side. I like coming in front a little bit and like having a little bit of a bend like that. Rather than back here, I have it like here, if that makes sense. I think lateral raises are one of those ones where it's like, try a load of different ways, find out the way that you prefer to do them, but this is the way that I have found my delts working the most, is having the tilt in my hand, little bit of a bend, bringing them forward, and not going super, super high. I know lateral raises take forever to progress on. Don't let it put you off. Don't let it get you down. Everyone struggles with lateral raises. You'll see massive bodybuilders still only being able to get up to like 10 kilos. I use a 3 and a 5. That works for me. I'm happy with it, and I've been doing lateral raises for a very long time. So that's today's workout. Tomorrow we're going back to lower, and we have hip thrusts. So I shall see you then. Okay, good morning. We are now on the next day. We are doing our second lower body day. We are starting with hip thrusts. We're starting in the studio. It's the same as what I said the other day with the hip thrusts, where benches are still far too high. So we're starting in the studio, just doing plain old hip thrusts today. So we're not doing any kind of pause rep, so we're going to go heavier. I am still going quite light on these since I've added that extra bench, and I've realised I'm not going high enough. The weight's gone down because it freaking hurts. So I'm going to do my warm up now. I've literally just got here. We have snow outside, so I had to dress all warm, but I have got the shorts on underneath because I cannot deal with wearing leggings on leg day. Please remember a warm up just because you don't see me doing it. Should I include it? I'm not going to talk through it in depth. Like I said, if you're interested in warm up stuff, I should do another video on it, but I'm going to do the warm up and then we'll go straight on to hip thrusts.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss.
Okay, hello, you are back with me. We are on lower body 2. Upper body 1 was the only one that I remembered to film afterwards. So you're back with me. We're going on to lower body 2. Let's chat about it. So starting with hip thrusts. No pause reps, just hip thrusts. Exactly the same tips as I gave for lower body 1. Make sure you're locking out fully. Just don't squeeze your booty at the top as like long. Still squeeze your bum at the top, because if not, you're not getting the full movement. Next, Bulgarian split squat. Difficult. I have done them in a different way to some people do them. Again, like I've mentioned them loads. This is the way Brett Contreras does it. Use the Smith machine, use your bar pad, and do it on there. You can also do this on the rack if you can get your bar low enough, but I find this so much better than the bench method. So much better. It is so much more stable. I feel it so much more in my glutes and my quads. It's tons better. So once you're into that position, what you want to think about is going on a downward angle. So say this is your hips, you want your hips to go down and back, not just down. That is the way that you're going to get your full glutes doing all of the work. Nice straight back, same thing again. You want that straight line between your head, upper back and bum throughout everything. The majority of everything. You can hold the weight loads of different ways for the Bulgarian split squats. The way I've found best is 1 dumbbell. Some people do 2 dumbbells, but that can be a little unsteady and you don't want to lose your balance in these. But some people love it. You can do a goblet hold, you can do a barbell, which is bloody difficult, but you can do it that way. Just find something that works for you. I prefer the one hand on the other side to the leg that I'm working. Third exercise, stiff leg deadlifts. These are different to RDLs, okay? So if you think Romanian deadlifts and stiff leg deadlifts are the same thing, no, you're wrong. These are stiff leg deadlifts. So the main thing is RDLs, you're starting from the top. Stiff leg deadlifts, you're starting from the bottom. Stiff leg deadlifts, you want your arms to come out a little bit more, tiny bit of rounding in your upper back, and you're pushing your hips far back as possible, okay? You want like no knee flexion in this. This is for your hamstrings more than your glutes. RDLs are more for your glutes. So you can put either or in, but I don't have enough hamstring exercises in this week of workouts. So this is for my hamstrings. Like I've said, tiny little bend in at the upper back is fine because you're gonna wanna be able to get down to the floor with like good form in your legs. And you're pushing your hips as far back as possible. So you're getting a nice big stretch on your hamstrings. Coming up, obviously you can squeeze your bum, but this is mainly for your hamstrings. Your bum's gonna be working regardless when this kind of movement's involved, but to get it more into our hamstrings, we're doing a stiff leg. I found the best way for it to feel it for me is to do non-stop, so don't let the weight fully relax on the floor. Screw your feet into the floor, so like grip your toes into the floor and squeeze your feet like into the floor, like corkscrews, and imagine pushing a door closed with your booty. They're the best tips I give for that. And then we are into walking lunges, which is a killer at the end of this workout. This is I think this is a really, really brutal workout. I do these to failure, or as close to failure as I can get. So these could be like 20 reps. I think I sometimes end up doing like 26, 30 reps. And that is like both legs. Hopefully that makes sense. I put this in because I wanted like a finisher for my quads because I don't really do any high rep quad work. So I've put this in and put some high rep quad work in at the end and really burn them. But I'm still adding in weights. So I hold a plate. I find that's the best thing for me with balance, and I hold it kind of in a goblet like hold. And I go and go and go and go and go until I feel like I'm gonna fall over. It's brutal, but it works. My quads afterwards, they feel like they are so full of blood, so full of blood. This hurts. Main tips for the type that I'm doing a shorter stance because I want it in my quads. So if you look at it and be like, oh, that looks like a bit weird, it's because I'm trying to get a really short stance to get it in my quads. And I'm also going out on a bit of a diagonal, get my glutes involved as well. Try and keep your back upright or in line with your bum. You can lean forward if you want, but just make sure that you're leaning forward from the hips and not just from the upper back, so your back ends up like this. Like I've said, straight line, and you want that throughout the entire thing. Again, heels planted to the floor. We don't want heels coming up at all. Right, that is lower body too. Like I said, it's a brutal workout. Let me know if you try it because I think it's brutal as hell. Anyway, let us get on to the last workout of the week, and that is upper 2. Hello everyone, you are situated on the car dashboard because I don't want to hold you up. Hello, look, I've got both hands. It's very good. We are here. It is the last day of the workout week. It is Sunday, so it's the last day of the week as well. What are you training today?
Push.
Push? Oh, we might cross over at some point then. I am doing chin-ups today. This is the same workout that if you are subscribed, me and Jack did the couples workouts. Couple workout video. So if you've already seen that, you'll know roughly. Well, not really. I only really did chin-ups when I was chatting to them, didn't I? Yeah. I'm trying to get my first chin-up this year. I have been trying for the last 2 weeks to do one every week because I was just doing kind of like stuff to help a chin-up before that, but then on the video that I was just talking about, I thought, oh, I'll attempt it, see how it goes. Nowhere near. I thought I was going to be a lot closer than what I was, which is really, really sad. So ever since then, I've just been at the end of because I've been doing like assisted chin-ups. So you'll see it in the video. I'll not explain it now because you'll see it in the video. But that, I thought, what was I saying? So after the end of those sets, I've just been trying a chin-up. Last week, I've been approving, haven't I?
You got like your arms to be a 90 a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Last time. So you get.
But I'm getting higher and higher every week. That's the exciting bit for this workout. The rest of the workout is really good. I enjoy it, so I hope you guys enjoy it as well. We have just warmed up. We're waiting for, well, I'm waiting for equipment. I think Jack's just waiting with me. Come stand. Come look. We're a cute gym couple. You're not posing at all. That made me look so... Oh, you're doing a different one. Hang on.
I don't know what I'm doing, really.
You do that? Look at your glutes are better than mine. No, go back. Go back to where you were. Look at that. Are our glutes the same size?
Probably.
Hang on. Can't really see mine. Let me go here. Aww, where's my glutes? Do a pose. Hang on. Wait, come stand back. Right, you gotta, face, do that way. And then you want your toe on the side, feet turn to the side. Then look at your booty pop. No, go wide and then swivel.
It just doesn't do it that much.
Let me pull them back. Okay.
It's just because they're not that tight.
Because why is that happening? And then literally like full straight on side. Yeah, there we go. Look, you got a booty popping.
Yeah.
Bigger than mine. It's ridiculous. What the hell? You don't even work on it.
It's a 2.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to
Okay, this is probably the the longest workout, so I'm going to try and get through it nice and quick. So I'm trying to get my first chin up this year. I think I talked about it a little bit in this video, but I'm doing it assisted with my weight, some of it off. I am putting my feet on the floor for the majority of it and lifting up, and then I was doing one attempt at the end, well, 2 attempts of doing the full chin up. I can't do it yet, but I'm gonna get there. Right, moving on, because I feel like I've talked about chin ups loads over the last few weeks. So seated overhead press with the dumbbells. I'm doing this with a bench, and the bench is fully upright, or as close as it can go. With the good form ones, you want your lower back being able to touch the bench the entire way through. With the heavier ones, it can come out a little bit, but the best form is to be able to have your lower back touching the entire time, so that you're not like pushing and like using your like back to do the work. You don't have to go fully back, like fully 90 degree. You can come forward a little bit. I feel like I can feel it in my delts a little bit better if I actually come forward a little bit rather than going all the way back. And try not to bounce them at the top. So I feel like a lot of us are taught to do like an arch. You can a little bit, but don't go up to the top and then like bounce them off each other and then come back down. The bounce is way too hard to control, and you just don't need it. Feet planted at the floor, push through your feet. I feel like this is a completely underrated thing with upper body workouts. Put your feet on the floor and push through them. It's gonna help with everything. See a lot of people doing bench with just their toes on the floor. Put your heels on the floor and use that leg drive to help you get the weight up. Honestly, it really does help. Next is cable pec flies. I am literally just doing a pec fly here, not an incline thing. So my arms are going straight out. So make sure you can put your cable at the correct height for you. And all you're doing is bringing in and squeeze your chest. Squeeze your boobs together. Like really feel it in your chest. And also try and keep your shoulders down. It's very easy to come and hunch up and squeeze it like that. Keep those shoulders pinned down so it is all coming from your chest. With your feet, I find it easiest to have a split stance, so one foot in front of the other. But if you're trying to do form, just do a normal stance and try and keep your core nice and strong. But just do a split stance. Next is our first superset, and that is tricep extension, going straight into upright rows with the dumbbells. So tricep extension, the way I'm doing it here is to not have my elbows pinned. There are so many different ways to do tricep extension. I'm doing it this way because, again, like with the hamstring thing, I'm just a little bit bored. So I am trying it to have not my elbows pinned and pushing down and flicking my wrists out. Even though your elbows aren't pinned to your sides though, you want to keep your elbows as still as possible because it's the tricep doing the work. If your elbow is moving about the entire way, it's not going to be a tricep that's pushing the weight down, it's going to be your shoulder. So try and keep your elbows as still as possible, pushing down, and then flick your wrists out at the end. Straight into upright row. So this is very easy to not get your delts and to get your traps instead. I'm doing this for my delts. To try and think about it, making sure that it is my delt, is to pull up through my little finger. I also say this through lateral raises. You also want to experiment with where you want your elbow. You can have your elbow going back, that's going to get more of your rear delt. If you bring it more to the side, it's going to be more of your front delt. But just try and make sure that your shoulders are pinned back. Not pinned back, but you aren't letting your shoulders do this whilst you're coming up, because then it's going to be all your rear delt. You don't want that. I prefer to come to about here, because if I go any higher, that's my trap bringing it up. So don't go too high, like up here, because then if you want your trap to do the work, do that, that's fine. But if you want your delt, the side of your shoulder, to do the work, come up to where it can squeeze and then put it back down. Last and final exercises are another superset, and that is seated face pulls straight into frontal raises. So with the face pulls, I actually couldn't film my usual thing. So what I've shown in this video isn't actually what I do, because normally I need 2 ropes. The other rope just disappeared on Sunday. I have no idea where it went. It was very frustrating because I'm not a big fan of doing it single arm. I normally have 2 ropes attached, and then that allows me to be able to get like that big wide 90-degree angle here. With 1 rope like halved, I'm literally going to be able to get it to like here, whereas if I put the 2 on, I can get to back there, which is what I'm after. Because I only had 1, I just sacrificed the other arm and just did 1 at a time. I prefer both arms at the same time, but have a try, you might like it. But with the face pull, the goal is to get a 90-degree angle and to be pulling back, so you're getting all of this like shoulder stuff. There's loads of tiny little muscles in here. Face pulls are excellent for all of them, especially if you're wanting to work on your posture a little bit. Just make sure as well you're getting as far back as you can. It's very easy to like stop here, try and get back in line with your body. If you're not a fan of sitting on the floor, you can do this sitting on something, but just try and get the cable at the right height for you. If you want to, you can do this on like a seated row machine, but with the cable being lower, like the origin point being lower and you having to pull it up as well, it's going to be more difficult. So experiment where you want like the height of the cable to be as well. Frontal raises, I wanted these in because I feel like the front of my delts are not growing, so I chucked these in the other week and I'm really enjoying them. I like to take these nice and slow and really focus on the form. I think I'm using 3 kilos at the minute because after seated face pulls, it hurts, okay? Your shoulders are pretty much wrecked. I focus a lot on my shoulders, so don't underestimate this. It freaking hurts. Just make sure, again, you are pulling from using your delt, so the front of your delt, not your trap. Don't go too high and really imagine that squeeze. You want a nice strong base as well, so feet apart, breathing through your core, and it's just through the delts that it's working. Anyway, that is it. That is the week of workouts. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. If you're gonna give it a try, please comment and let me know. If you have gave it a try, let me know your thoughts. I really like this workout, like this workout plan. I'm really enjoying it and I think it's super optimal. I really enjoy it, so please let me know what you thought. I am trying to get into a better like style of stuff like this, so give me feedback on that as well. If you didn't like how the workout was, if you didn't like the like chat afterwards and you wanted that voiceover, please again let me know. Give the video a like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you are new. It really helps to push my channel and to like let YouTube know that you are actually enjoying this stuff, so any engagement, really appreciate it. But even if you don't do any, it's okay. Thank you so much for making it to the end, and I shall hopefully see you in another video.